you make a case that the Jews are responsible for Islam taking over Europe today?
Yes.
What's the aim of multiculturalism?
That we all live together in a harmonious society,
Is it a journey? Is it a journey or a destination? When are we multicultural enough? When? When's the end?
It doesn't end, believe it or not.
It doesn't end
for
until,
you,
until what?
For
When
you,
no
history
more,
ends.
There's no more white people left?
History ends and doesn't change.
Some people are categorical about it. George Soros financing the transports and giving to each young Muslim, they come into Europe with 500 euros in their pocket or something like that. They all come with iPads or iPhones and plenty of money, or some very serious pocket money. And there's a famous clip which appears on television of a Jewess in Sweden, Barbara Specter, who says Europe is dying, and we Jews must encourage immigration to stop Europe from dying. We're going to be resented because we're going to help in this process, but we must do it, otherwise Europe dies. She says this, you can find it on the internet.
And that's because they want to destroy Christianity in Europe.
Yes,
Left of it.
yes, absolutely. They want to dissolve they want to dissolve the Western nations, destroy their identity, destroy their self-respect, destroy their manliness, their patriotism, and that way make them soften them up to join in the New World Order without protesting.
The Kalergi plan by Count Kalergi. Count Kalergi devised this plan whereby he wants to destroy the ethnicity of every European. He wants Europe to not have anymore their own single ethnicity, and that's why they're pushing all these immigrants to cross the Mediterranean and come into Europe. They are basically destroying Europe by doing that. We don't have anything racistic against anyone, of course, but what they're doing is completely criminal. And they're actually financing these people once they come to Italy. They have more rights than the Italians. They give them houses, they give them hotels, they even give them 30 euro a day so they can buy and pay for the mobile phones, for their things. I mean, they're treated better. There is no social security here in Italy, but still, these immigrants have everything. So Italians are, of course, getting more and more mad every day. And this is all because of the Kalergi plan to destroy the ethnicity of Europeans.
Because if the New World Order tried to absorb a proud and independent and self-identified United States or Britain or France or Germany, these great countries from the past would resist. So they've got to break them down, and that's what they've done by taking over the education in these countries, by taking over the politics, by taking over the universities, and when these nations are no longer Catholic, they're vulnerable to that. But when a country is Catholic, the Catholics will set up a system of self-defense to stop the Jews from taking over. They're not allowed to be civil servants, they're not allowed to be politicians, they're not allowed to be this, that. They're confined to banking, of course, which is their domain, but they're not allowed into positions of influence. That was how it was in France before the Revolution. And that's Catholic common sense. It's self-preservation.
Today, in this country, it's Catholic charities and big-name Protestant churches that are getting paid by the government to bring these immigrants from Syria in. So our own church is selling us out.
Yeah. And the churches, of course, the Protestant churches have all been softened up from the 1920s, when there was, I think it's called the Paul Scofield Bible, which is a Protestant Bible, commented by a friend of Israel who highlights all of the prophecies in the Old Testament that the Jews will return to Israel and Israel will belong to the Jews and so on and so on. So the commentary of this Bible has turned, amongst other scripts and texts, but this is the most famous and one of the original ones, has turned American Protestants, a mass of American Protestants, into firm friends of Israel, blind friends of Israel, who've got no idea what the real score is. And the Jews are clever. And the only defense against the cleverness of the Jews is the truth of Catholicism. But then, you know, you've got to be a Catholic, and then you've got to behave yourself, you've got to be a good boy, you've got to go to confession, you know, and people today don't want that. So if people don't want the Catholic Church, they're going to get the Jewish New World Order.
Yo he dicho en alguna ocasión, y también es muy arriesgado de decir, tú imagínate que tú estás en una isla y aquí tienes otra isla y tú la quieres conquistar, ¿no? Y estos se dirigen con una democracia del jefe. Oye, es que son disciplinados y obedecen siempre al jefe, no hay quien los venza. Ah, pues les vamos a imponer la democracia, propaganda democrática, vamos a lanzar en octavillas que sean muy demócratas. Pero es que además tienen una fe en Dios tremenda, tienen tal fe en Dios que no abandonan nunca el frente. Ah, pues vamos a promover el ateísmo. Se acabaron las iglesias, a partir de ahora discotecas. Oh, pero es que la juventud es sana, es fuerte, tiene un aspecto formidable, son realmente como el creador los creó, a imagen y semejanza del creador. Pues nada, a partir de ahora McDonald's, Coca-Cola, drogas, litrona, que sean fofos y viejos e indisciplinados. Muy bien, hay que eliminar el servicio militar. Ah, bueno ya, pero es que la otra cosa que tienen es que son homogéneos, es un solo pueblo, una sola raza, no hay caos étnico. Ah, pues hay que hacerlo como podamos, pero hay que enviar pateras de África con negros y con africanos y con chinos, pero es que tienen muchos bebés, tienen 6 o 7 bebés, son felices de tener familias numerosas. Pues a partir de ahora el aborto, la píldora, has acabado con esa isla, ¿verdad?